Now, addition of light waves. So, in wave optics, we considered light as a wave, huh? A transverse wave like this, and we'll now proceed on how to add two light waves. How to add two light waves means, suppose this is a point on a screen. One light wave is reaching at this point, another light wave is reaching at this point. Then at this point the intensity due to these two waves will be changed. So before we proceed, we have to have certain understandings. Number one, an electric charge produces an electric field that we studied in electrostatics. Also, while we will study magnetism, we will also learn that a magnetic pole, like a north pole and a south pole, also produces a magnetic field. The symbol for electric field was capital E and the symbol for magnetic field will be capital B. In another chapter, in electromagnetic waves chapter, we shall also learn there are two things. Number one, a magnetic field which is changing with the time at a region produces an electric field in that region. This was observed by Faraday. And also the second observation by Maxwell, the second observation is an electric field E changing with time in a region produces a magnetic field in that region. Means an electric field E changing with time, a magnetic field B changing in time produces an electric field, and here Maxwell observation is an electric field E changing with time gives rise to a magnetic field B. Now, what are the further observations by Maxwell? Variation of E and B. Suppose at a place, at a given region in space, there is an electric field, there is a magnetic field. Both are perpendicular to each other. If this is changing with time, this is also changing with time. At a given place, it was observed to each other, if they are perpendicular, they produce a disturbance called electromagnetic wave. Means if there is an electric field and a magnetic field, and both are perpendicular to each other and both are changing with respect to time, a disturbance is produced. That disturbance is called an electromagnetic wave. And light is also an electromagnetic wave. So light can be produced due to a changing electric field and a changing magnetic field perpendicular to each other, E and B perpendicular to each other. So, and it is also observed that the optical property of light, that is reflection, refraction, these are due to the electric field associated in the propagation of a wave, not the magnetic field, the electric field. Now look at a diagram. This is your x-axis, this is your y-axis, this is your z-axis. Actually it is like this, the z-axis perpendicularly upward. And look at this black line, look at this black one. This is a wave, the electric field, which is changing with respect to time. Means here it is 0, here it is maximum, then the value decreases, becomes 0, then it increases on the other side, becomes maximum, becomes 0, then again increases, becomes maximum and 0. The electric field is along y-axis, and the magnetic field B, written in green, is along a z-axis. This one. Here the magnetic field is 0. It is increasing, becomes maximum, becomes 0, becomes maximum on the negative z-axis, reduces, becomes 0, again comes to the positive z-axis, along the positive z-axis becomes maximum and 0. So here at this place there is an electric field, there is a magnetic field, both are perpendicular to each other. electric field is along y-axis, magnetic field is along z-axis. And as per the observation of Maxwell, if an electric field and a magnetic field are perpendicular at a place and they produce a disturbance. Now due to this E and B, which are perpendicular, E is along y-axis, B is along z-axis, it is found a wave is traveling, a disturbance is traveling along x-axis, called an electromagnetic wave, and light is also an electromagnetic wave. Okay, in simple harmonic motion, in your previous year classes, a traveling wave along x-axis was represented by this equation. A wave, a disturbance traveling like this towards positive x-axis was represented by this, where this is the amplitude of the wave A, omega is angular frequency, t is time t. At this time t, y was the displacement. Here, let me draw it again, and this is a wave traveling to positive x-axis. To this side is y. Here y value is 0. Here y value is this much. Here y value is this much. Here y value is maximum. This maximum is called amplitude. Sin omega t minus kx, where k was 2 pi by lambda, called propagation constant. Lambda is the wavelength, and x is any distance from here to here, any distance. This is what we studied in simple harmonic motion, where y is displacement at time t, a is the maximum value of y, as I explained you here. This is the maximum value of y. Omega is 2 pi nu, called angular frequency. The optical property of light is due to the electric field E. Optical property means reflection, refraction, that it bends while going from one medium to another, is associated with the electromagnetic wave. So it is represented by, since the optical property is due to the electric field vector, and this E is changing like a wave, like this, as we wrote here, y is equal to a sin omega t minus kx. So you can write E is equal to E naught sin omega t minus kx, where E naught is, where E naught is maximum. This is E naught. To this side is your E. At this point E is 0, at this point E is this much, at this point E is this much, at this point E is maximum, then it reduces, becomes 0. It increases on the other side, becomes maximum, again reduces, becomes 0, again increases, becomes maximum, again reduces, becomes 0. So E is equal to E naught sin omega t minus kx, right? Now for simplicity, we shall represent light, since it is a wave, as y is equal to a sin omega t. Actually we should have used E is equal to E naught sin omega t. So for simplicity we are writing y is equal to a sin omega t. This is same thing as this, where you can say y is the instantaneous value of the electric field, a is the maximum value of the electric field E naught. So I am using this expression, where y is the instantaneous electric field, capital A is the amplitude of the electric field. Means this is your A, that is same thing as E naught, and to this side is Y or E, and to this side is your X, right? Now you can understand what is addition of two waves. Now the addition of light waves. Since light is represented by a wave like this, for simplicity, actually it should have been like this. E is equal to E naught sin omega t. I'm using the same form but a simplified notations. Y is equal to a sin omega t. Let y1 is equal to a1 sin omega t, one light wave, where a1, capital A1 is the maximum value of y1. y2 is equal to a2 sin omega t plus phi, where a2 is equal to maximum value of y2. Both have the same omega, and this, what is this phi? The phase difference. What do you mean by phase difference? For a wave, from here to here was 2 pi. From here to here is half of that. From here to here is again half of that. So for example, a point here and a point here, they have an angle difference of pi by 2, means phase difference. A point here and a point here, they have a phase difference of pi. A point here and a point here have a phase difference of pi by 2 plus pi by 2 plus pi by 2, that is 3 pi by 2. So this angle, this phi is such an angle. It can have any value between 0 and 2 pi, right? So when these two light waves arrive at a point, suppose this is arriving at this point on a screen and this is arriving also at this point on the screen, then at this point how the amplitude will change? When these two waves combine, what will be the effect here, the resultant amplitude here? So y1 is this, y2 is this, so let y is the resultant one. So y is equal to y1 plus y2. Now it is very simple. For y1 I write this a1 sin omega t. For y2 I write this a2 sin omega t plus phi, where phi is the phase difference between these two waves. This remains as same, a2. This comes under the formula sin a plus b, sin omega t cos phi plus cos omega t sin phi. Now this remains same as this. I multiply a2 with this and with this. So a2 sin omega t cos phi plus a2 cos omega t sin phi. Now what do I do? From this and this, I take sin omega t common. Sin omega t common. So I am left with a1 plus a2 cos phi. And here I just rewrite it as a2 sin phi and then cos omega t. Then I make a substitution. Let this is substituted as a cos delta t. And this is substituted as a sin delta t. Suppose okay, if this is substituted as a cos delta t, then what will be the value of a? That we'll find out. Let us substitute. So by doing this substitution, now that is a cos delta t. A cos delta t is replaced by, this is replaced by a cos delta t, and a2 sin phi is replaced by a sin delta t. Now what happens? So this equation, this equation I am writing it again, a cos delta t sin omega t plus a sin delta t cos omega t. So a here and a here common, taken out. So this becomes sin omega t cos delta t plus cos omega t sin delta t. Now look, so this part comes under a formula, sin of a plus b. So a sin of omega t plus delta t. So when the two waves, this wave and this wave arrive at a point, this wave having amplitude a1 and this having amplitude a2, when they arrive here, the resultant amplitude here is a. Now let us see how this resultant amplitude a is related to the individual amplitudes a1 of the first wave and a2 of the second wave. So where a is equal to resultant amplitude after the two waves have combined. We had made this substitution, that is a cos delta t is this much and a sin delta t is this much. Let us square this and add both of them. So squaring this, it becomes a square cos square delta t will be equal to square of this, that is a1 plus a2 cos phi whole square. A sin delta t is this much, so square of this will be square of this. So a square sin square delta t is a2 sin phi whole square. Let us add these two. A square is taken common, within bracket I am left with sin square delta plus cos square delta is equal to, these two will also be added, a plus b whole square, so a1 square plus square of this, a2 square cos square phi plus 2 times this into this, 2a1 a2 cos phi plus a2 square sin square phi, right? So this becomes 1 into a square is equal to a square, a square. So look, a1 square, a1 square. Now look at this part and this part. If I take a2 square common from these two, I am left with within bracket sin square phi plus cos square phi, that is 1. 1 into a square is 1 into a2 square is a2 square plus 2a1 a2 cos phi. So your a will be square root of this. So when two waves, one having amplitude a1, other having amplitude a2, when they combine, the resultant amplitude a is given by square of the amplitude of the first one, square of the amplitude of the second one, plus 2 times amplitude of first one, second one, cos phi, square root of that, right? Now, and we also know intensity. What do you mean by intensity? For example, what is the intensity of light? Amount of energy falling on a unit area. Suppose this is a unit area. How much energy is falling here per second is called intensity of light. It is known intensity is proportional to square of the amplitude. We just derived the formula resultant amplitude A when the two waves combine is equal to amplitude of the first one, square of that, plus amplitude of the second one, square of that, plus 2 times amplitude of first one, amplitude of second one, cos of phi, where phi is the phase difference between the two waves, square root of that. So squaring this, it becomes a square. This becomes a1 square, a2 square, plus 2a1, a2 cos phi. Now, intensity is proportional to a square. This is the amplitude of the resultant wave. So this will be intensity of the resultant wave. Let it be I. This is square of the amplitude of the first wave. So this will be intensity of the first wave. This is a2 square amplitude. This is the square of the amplitude of the second wave. So this will be intensity of the second wave. Now from this, now we know a1 square is equal to I1. Therefore, a1 will be equal to square root of I1. Now, a2 square is equal to intensity of the second one. So, amplitude of the second one will be I2 square root. So, for a1, a2, I put square root of I1, square root of I2. So, this becomes square root of I1, I2 cos phi. So, this is how intensity is added. And this is how amplitude is added. This is how amplitude of two waves are added when the two waves arrive at a point. This is how intensity of the two waves is added when they arrive at a point.